Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a special Canada's Got Talent edition of the Jake's Take with Jacob Elyachar Podcast. I'm your host, Jacob Elyachar, the chief content producer and writer of jakestake.com, a pop culture entertainment news website. If you're listening to this on our audio platforms, please give us a 5-star rating and please download this episode and more episodes ever, and so on and so forth. I'm so excited. I'm so delighted to start new season of Canada's Got Talent with the one, the only. She's a singer-songwriter. She's the host of Canada's Got Talent. Please help me welcome the fabulous Lindsay Ell to the podcast.
Jacob, thank you so much for that introduction. My goodness, can you just come to all my shows and introduce me on stage? That was amazing.
I would love to do that. So, Lindsay, it's a privilege to talk with you because I'm so excited. This is Canada's Got Talent's latest season. And what do you enjoy the most about hosting CGT?
I'll have to say, Jacob, shows like Got Talent are my favorite because they give a spotlight to humans who are so talented that sometimes their talent does not know what stage to go to. We have a stage for everybody, whether you are an acrobat, whether you are a magician, whether you are a musician, whether you have a talent that doesn't really fit in any of those categories, you can come to the Got Talent stage and have the world see what you do. And I have felt that Canada has needed a show like this forever. And it's been amazing seeing CGT be able to showcase all of the talented Canadians, because as we know, Canadians are so talented. When you look at like so many famous singers and comedians and actors and actresses, Canadians are so talented. And so the fact that we finally have a show that is able to showcase these amazing, incredible humans, I just feel honored to be a part of it. And the fact that it's the $1 million season this year is so exciting. Roger stepped up to the plate and was like, all right, we're going to change the game in a whole other level. Now the prize is $1 million. It's so exciting.
I know it's so exciting that you brought me right in. So now that it is the $1 million season, in your humble opinion, how have the acts stepped up to the challenge?
You can definitely feel that acts have risen everything to the next level. They just know that there's more at stake. And so in auditions, I know you're going to feel that the competition is higher. The heat has been elevated, and you just feel that all of the acts are feeling that extra level of, okay, I really have to bring it. Auditions aren't just, I just got to make it to the auditions and then figure out how to get to semis and then figure out how to get to the finale. It is, I got to put everything on the line every single time.
And I bet you have noticed this. Now that's $1 million. Has Howie, Lilly, Kardinal, and Trish have they been a little more bringing up to the challenge and been a little more stricter with their feedback?
Oh, for sure. I always say, it's like, who is our most challenging judge? And Cardi has been the hardest judge, really. When you look back on the last few seasons, Cardi is the one that you really got to impress, specifically for the musicians because of his incredible background. And so I feel like this year, the judges know what's at stake, and they know that their critique and their suggestions and their comments are going to affect whether or not somebody wins $1 million. This isn't $150,000 anymore. This is $1 million that can truly change someone's life. So they know that even what they say is at a whole new level and on the line. And I definitely feel you're going to feel that this year.
Absolutely. And speaking of not just $1 million, not just everything has changed, but also the Golden Buzzer has gotten updates. So can you describe the audience, what the recipients received, in addition to a pass to the semifinals?
Well, thanks to CIBC, every golden buzzer wins an extra $25,000. And as far as I know, in Got Talent history around the world, this is the most money that has been given away on a season of Got Talent ever. Because not only does the winner take home $1 million, but every golden buzzer takes home $25,000. So doing the math, that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. Thanks to Rogers for the $1 million, thanks to CIBC plus financial advice, which is very, very useful, as you're getting all of this money. I think it's just amazing. It's incredible what contestants on this season of CGT will be able to take home.
I was just before we got online, I looked back at you picked, I got to say this, you have the best Golden Buzzer track record of any of the judges. And
Well,
on their
thank you
team.
so much. Thank you so much, Jacob. That means more to me than you could ever know. I really like choosing golden buzzers who are just a little bit different, who have a story, who've had to really overcome significant things to get to the place that they're at. Of course, Jeanick Fournier was my first golden buzzer when this whole thing kicked off, and she went off and won the first season, which is wild. And so, and then last year with Anica, who's just come through so much. Her story, it's really the story that gets me. Anika's story was so inspiring, and watching everything that she has had to come through to get to the CGT stage. And this season, I will not give away too many spoilers, but I will say my golden buzzer is unlike anything I have ever seen before. And the story behind this act is just it makes me cry, and it probably will make Canada cry.
And not to mention the world cry, because I'm coming from you from Overland Park, Kansas, and I've loved the fact that CGT has posted this YouTube, and that's how I was able to watch all this. So I got to say, the thing is, what I loved about, and going back with Anica, is it was her and her guitar in that packed 5,000 feet arena. That kind of gave me chills. That was just amazing. And then of course Jeanick, oh my God, goosebumps galore. And then now I got to bring in a couple of people like Jeanick Coptier and Jeanick have gone on to compete on AGT All Stars and AGT Fantasy League, respectively. So, how do you hope that this group of acts can go and compete? Maybe see Howie again on AGT, or maybe see competing for Simon on BGT, and so on, and even Francis Got Talent.
Yeah, it's so amazing, Jacob, to hear you say that. I love that you're coming from Kansas. I live in Nashville, and it is pretty wild. The internet makes the world feel so small nowadays. And you're right, the right person in the right moment, in the right spotlight can change their life, because their video can be seen by everybody in the world in a matter of hours almost, And so it's pretty amazing to see what Jeanick Fournier has done, from winning the first season and from, like you said, getting to go compete at AGT All Stars. Of course, Howie Mandel is a judge on both CGT and AGT, and Simon, of course, is the godfather, and so he's able to showcase acts throughout all of the Got Talent platforms. And it's really empowering, I think, as an act, knowing that you can literally change your life within minutes of the right performance. And watching how some of these moments from CGT have gone viral. Even last season, one of the acts did a Jack song, and Jack saw it on TikTok, a huge TikTok artist who's gone viral so many times, and she has such a wonderful following, and even watching how that song exploded because she saw it and then she put it on her TikTok and was like, this is amazing. And so it is so wild how the world can just feel so small in an instant because of viral moments like that,
Awesome. So I want to talk to you about, how has the chemistry between you, Howie, Lilly, Kardinal, and Trish strengthened between your first season and now this season?
Jacob, I love this question. I feel like I have truly made friends for life. it's one thing to have chemistry on the screen and when I'm asking the judges questions at the desk and when they're bickering back and forth about things, but I truly feel like we've made like a lifelong friendship. I always say Lily's like my BFF now because I mean we hang out all the time. Like I'm in LA all the time and we hang out. Howie has been so wonderful as like an as like a uncle to me or something, and just giving me advice and really looking out for me and supporting me. And actually, let me show you this. Giving me Christmas presents like this. This is Howie's Christmas present, and now it sits in my studio. My studio I keep usually pretty clean and and kept, but now I have beautiful, and it's really soft. It feels very awkward to like stroke Howie's head, but this pillow, Jacob, is so soft. All you want to do is just like stroke his head or something. So
I can't believe Howie found a pillow. Howie and his team found a pillow company that was able to make a pillow of Howie's face.
It's my favorite thing ever. And so when I got it for Christmas, I was like, okay, it's staying in my studio. But yeah, we've just become so close. I love the judges dearly. And it's been so wonderful through this show to foster friendships that we'll have forever.
Awesome. I
and
really love
get pillows.
I would love to see with this chemistry, like it'd be very tough if Howie would go up against America's Got Talent and Who's Got Talent. If there was a tug of competition, it'd be very difficult.
I would love to see this. Jacob, I love your creativity.
Oh yeah, because I think Simon would have the same thing with Britain's Got Talent because Ant and Deck would not, and Amanda would not be very happy with them.
Oh, very much so. I can only imagine.
All right, so I got why should my audience watch CGT if they're not in, and watch to see YouTube and unfold on social media if they're unable to watch it in Canada?
I think your audience should watch CGT, Jacob, because when you think of, the famous acts across the world, we're talking like Celine Dion to Shania Twain to Justin Bieber to Shawn Mendes to Jim Carrey to, I could go on for a long, long time. A lot of them are Canadians. And even, I think it was the preface why when Simon and Howie were first talking about, oh, we should get CGT going because a lot of acts auditioning for AGT were coming from Canada. And it was like, okay, well, wait a minute. If a lot of the acts auditioning for AGT were coming from Canada, why don't we have a CGT just as Britain has BGT? And so it was only a matter of time. It was only a matter of time until CGT needed to be a thing. And so I would say to any of your beautiful audience watching, why not watch from their home country, from people coming from their home country? And I just have always said there's something in the water up in Canada. There's just something in the water up there because people are so flippin' talented. And maybe in the winter when it's so cold and nobody wants to go outside, that they just stay inside and practice whatever their wonderful craft is. They just practice a lot. And so they get really good at certain things because you just don't want to go outside a lot in the winter. But there's something in the air, in the water, in the atmosphere up in Canada. And we have it going on. We have it going on up there. And I think that you're really, really going to see that watching this season.
I cannot wait to watch this season. And guys, if you're listening to this on our audio platforms, please give us a thumbs up. If you missed an episode of Jake's Take with Jacob Elyachar, visit us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Amazon Music. If you're listening to, and if you are on social media, I'm on social media too: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, and TikTok. JACOBELYACHAR. And guys, you can catch my interview with Lindsay and a lot more interviews with Canada's Got Talent, including my interview with Howie Mandel and Trish Stratus on jakes.shake.com. Once again, jakes.shake.com. It was such an honor and privilege to meet you, Lindsay. You are amazing. I am so excited for this $1 million season. and I cannot wait to see the acts that you guys have discovered.
I cannot wait for you to see it either, Jacob. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat today. And we should talk in a few weeks once you see a few acts.
Absolutely, absolutely. And guys, thank you so much for listening, and have a great day, everybody. Goodbye.